Good evening, this is the Walpole Zoning Board of Appeals. Tonight is Wednesday, February 1st. It is 7:01. The first case we have is a continuance, case number 22-30 for 15 Winthrop Street, special permit under the zoning bylaws. The applicant has sent in a letter asking for a continuance until March 1st, and we won't take any testimony tonight on that. Does anybody have any questions on 15 Winthrop Street? Okay. How about a motion to continue until March 1st?
So move.
Okay. Moved by Drew.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I have a question
Okay, well,
regarding process.
okay, do you want a second so we can have discussion? or-
Didn't someone second yet?
No. you-
I'm sorry.
made
I'll
the-
second.
Okay, yes.
I want to make sure we're doing everything properly. And I'm going to bring it up, the elephant on the table. You sent us a letter of resignation that you were stepping down, and you're here. So could you please explain what's going on?
Sure. I sent a letter of resignation to the Board of Selectmen, and they asked me to rescind my letter of resignation, which I did. I sent an informational email to you and the other board members so that everybody was informed, and so I've rescinded my resignation at the request of the Selectmen and others.
Okay, so you didn't send that to us as a letter you rescinded?
No. My email to you and the other board members was just informational.
Okay.
Just so we're all clear, that the Board of Selectmen appoints
Correct.
people to the zoning board, and so I sent my letter to them, and then I sent I rescinded that also.
Okay.
So,
Okay, but you chose not to, until now, tell us that you rescinded. First I'm hearing that you...
I told you out in the hallway last week that I had rescinded it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, well,
Okay,
remember when you
never
were so happy to...
I said, good luck, you're moving on up. You said that this might be
And I-
preliminary, that's all you said.
I
Okay,
said it wasn't, well, I said it wasn't happening, so.
okay.
Okay, so, sorry if that's
Okay.
not making you happy, but...
No, I'm not, no, I just want to be sure we're making motions and things are all clear, and to protect the board if there's a reason why you should be here or not here. I don't want to be obstructionist, but it was not clear in our conversation that you were rescinding, so I think in hindsight, it would have been nice if you sent that out to everyone to let us know that you did rescind, and then there might not be an issue, so, okay.
Is there an issue?
No, not yet, I don't think.
Okay. So, that being said, it's been moved and seconded, and really what we're talking about is Winthrop Street here, not whether I rescinded...
Right,
the-
it's correct, I just
my-
need,
my
this is
position on the
that was a
board.
process question, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any further discussion on 15 Winthrop?
No.
Okay. All those in favor of continuing until the 15th at 7 o'clock here at Town Hall, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay, in voting on that is the five regular members,
Four.
the four regular members that are here, right? Bob is not here tonight. Okay, the next piece of discussion for the board is discussion of future meeting schedule and changes to meeting dates. So, after I sent my letter to the Select Board saying that because I had been appointed to Tri-County, to the school committee there, I wouldn't be able to make the third Wednesday meeting. I was going to resign from the zoning board. They asked me to stay on because of upcoming cases and reasons we're halfway through this, we've got some cases going on now. So I said, okay, well, I rescinded my resignation, and there was discussion about, well, can we do other dates? So I wasn't going to make a one-sided decision because that would not be right. And I said, well, we can discuss, are there other nights of the week that we could meet for the zoning board if people have flexibility on that. Again, I don't I think that's a big ask on my part, but that's not coming directly from me. That was suggested to see if there's other ways that we could meet. So I throw that out there and ask if there's I think there was a survey that you folks took.
No, sir.
You didn't send it
We
out?
didn't do that. Yeah, we were going to wait till the discussion.
Okay. So we'll have the discussion as far as other nights that work for zoning board meetings. So I open it up because I ask, are there other nights of the week that work for you that are not in conflict with other boards? Or do you want to just keep it on the first and third Wednesday as we have been doing?
I would add that you bring a certain value to the board, and I have absolutely no problem modifying my schedule to meet these scheduled dates. I'd be more than glad to vote in favor of that.
Okay, so I guess the question is, what do we want to, what works for board members? Or if it doesn't work, are there other nights of the week? Patrick, you've looked at, and Lauren, you've looked at other town boards that when they meet, and we don't want to be in conflict with other town boards. And again, I feel this is a big ask, but do you want to tell us what you found about other boards?
Just generally looking at other town regulatory boards and other town boards that utilize the main meeting room in particular. Nights that don't really conflict would probably be Mondays. There's no real board that utilizes the main meeting room to the extent that's a regulatory board or a larger board that would utilize the room on Monday. And this board has also met on Monday before for different situations. And then in addition to that, we thought of Thursdays opposite the planning board. That would be a situation where it would be, I guess, the second and fourth, or however the schedule would be. So it would be not in conflicting schedule with them. Utilizing Wednesday as the same date, but the second and fourth would be in conflict with Conservation Commission, and we don't want to do that because, again, Conservation Commission and Planning Board we all see the same people. Those are really kind of the options, really. It's Monday, any kind of date, any other pattern. The way the schedule is right now on the first and the third Wednesday, and probably Thursdays not in conflict with planning board. It would have to be opposite the planning board.
School committee meets opposite planning board.
What was that?
School committee meets opposite planning board.
However, we'd have to use a different meeting room. So that's the one larger issue there.
Every other Thursday.
Yeah, so we'd have to not conflict with the school committee in terms of room scheduling, but we don't see the same people that school committee does in terms of caseload. So that's why that would probably be, I guess, out of the three options, probably the third option, because I know that's, there is another board that meets on those days, as Pat pointed out, but we just wouldn't want to schedule the same meeting room date as them. But
So is there, what's the thoughts for board members? It sounds like Monday's flexible on Mondays, or
John,
Thursday.
excuse me.
Yes.
I'm on the Housing Authority, and that's Mondays.
Okay.
So for me, that Monday would be out.
Okay.
Is it every Monday or every?
It's the first Monday, but we've had reasons to change for illnesses, and
So it's once a month,
it's once
first
a month,
Monday?
the first Monday.
So if we did the
But it
second
can be
and
other
fourth?
Mondays.
If we did the second and fourth Monday? Or Thursday, I mean, what works for people? Mondays, Thursdays? Or keep it the way it is now?
Mondays
Okay.
and Wednesdays.
Mondays or Wednesdays, Dan? So, I mean, John,
Thursday, Saturday.
we had discussed this when you had this, John. So, I mean, you had reached out about having this as a discussion point with the board, and I guess thinking it through and talking with Lauren. I don't know if a decision needs to be made right now, because right now we do have stuff scheduled up until March 1st. So February 15th and March 1st, those meeting dates need to stand as is. So whatever change would have to take place after March 1st. So in terms of a poll, or in terms of something like that, in terms of gauging interest, that could be done after this meeting. I know you want to at least address it with the board beforehand. So those are the options that we looked into. Mondays, the schedule the way it is, and probably opposite Thursdays, but obviously, we'd probably have to move meeting rooms, or find a meeting, make sure the meeting room doesn't conflict with the school committee. But,
And, yeah, so maybe the best way, if people want, take a look at your schedules, and as Patrick just said, we don't have to make a decision on this tonight. So if you want, take a look at your schedules, figure out what works. And Dave, you just said Thursdays don't work for you?
Well, just during basketball season,
Yep.
but, I mean, and depending on what that Thursday schedule would actually look like, I'd be happy to look at it.
Yeah.
If there was like a draft or like a scenario, right? Because I don't know what those dates would be. It would allow me at least have a conversation, with my wife, figure it out.
we could flesh something out so I guess we could go through a pattern for the rest of the year and try to see if something fleshed out on those, whether it's Mondays, keeping it the same schedule we have, or Thursdays.
When you say keeping the same schedule, we have Mondays, the...
First and the third, but I know we have.
Judy just said she has a conflict with...
No, sorry, we got Wednesdays, the first and the third.
First and third.
So either Mondays, Wednesdays the way they are right now, or Thursday, non-conflicting with school committee in terms of meeting. I could go through the dates later with Lauren, and we could probably just have maybe, in addition to the schedule that you already approved, have a Monday suggestion, have a Thursday suggestion. Maybe that's better to kind of visualize it for everybody. I could just send that out as just something to think about before going to a next meeting.
Yeah, I know I'd like to see
Yeah, and I mean,
different options and stuff. I'm trying to remember, last summer, did we not meet in July? Was that the month we took
So
off?
usually it's August that we go to a summer schedule.
Once a month?
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah, we would meet once a month, and actually,
the current schedule is
July-
once a month for July,
July and August. Yeah,
August
just once.
and
yeah,
June.
once a month. Yeah.
And John, doesn't Tri-County take a couple of months off in the summer?
I don't know, I haven't been there long enough, but I think there's somebody you could ask that would know
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, we want him to know that, because maybe if there's a couple of months off there,
Yeah.
it might work. But yeah, let's see the options.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the idea.
Does it always have to be on the same date? And I know that complicates things, but like a first Wednesday, third Monday?
That was another suggestion we thought of as well.
it's
Both
not-
Lauren, yeah, and I kind of, from a scheduling standpoint, it's not great. Could we make it work? For sure. But
It must get tough on the days
yeah, I mean,
that you have to have, and
when you're planning, when you're working with applicants and you're trying to get something noticed,
it's
it's
confusing
good
for
to
us.
have a
exactly.
repeat schedule.
Yep.
But it's an option as well.
So if people want, think about what works, Patrick, you can send out something to see what works for people as
Yep.
far as the schedule. And then we can resume this discussion next time. And again,
Yeah.
I know from my point, it's I think it's a big ask, and I was fully willing to step down. I was going to stick around where possible, but I was asked to, see if we could redo this, the schedule. And there's nothing in the bylaws that says we have to meet at a certain time.
No, I mean,
So that's totally up to you as board members when we meet. That's up to the board.
Mr. Chairman, so it's got to be an agreement of all 7 of us, what we do from that point on.
Well, I'd say it's a majority vote.
Okay.
I would add, I think I can be flexible. It's, as long as I have kind of notice and can see the schedule, I can usually work around things, so I'm not overly.
we'll try to send this out
Married
before
to
the
the
end.
day or time.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
Yep.
We'll send this out before the end of the week. Me and Lauren will just work on this tomorrow. Give you options of, what we already have approved. What would be an option on Mondays that don't interfere with holidays? Well, maybe hopefully don't interfere with Housing Authority as well. And then maybe a Thursday schedule. I'll have to look at the scheduling book in terms of meeting room space and say, make sure we don't conflict with school committee. And then maybe that's a lot better in terms of visualizing, like, here are the dates that I have found that don't conflict with any town meeting or boards or anything like that. So,
Okay. Anybody have anything else? on that?
Just a little wild card in there is, Judy and I got an email from Bill Buckley, the chairman of the 300th thing, and we, I guess we're being told we gotta start meeting twice a month. We've been meeting on Tuesdays. I don't know if that's gonna keep, because we're waiting for Bill to tell us where we're gonna meet, so just another wild card thrown in there.
How long is that going to go for?
Till the end of '24.
Till the end of,
24?
the end of this year,
To the
really, 'cause then
anniversary.
we'll
Well,
meet-
but we'll still be we'll still be meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not maybe
But
twice a
definitely the
month.
rest of this year.
End of '23, yeah.
Okay, but you've been meeting on Tuesdays for that?
Yeah, at 6. Now, last meeting, we didn't have enough for a quorum, so we didn't even meet, so, I don't know.
Okay, well, stuff to think about, and we can continue this discussion with Patrick. You can send it out, different options, visualize it, and see what works for you folks. And if it has to be, Wednesdays, I get it. So, okay. Does anybody have anything else? Okay. So we'll be, our next meeting
15.
is February 15th, so 2 weeks from tonight. Very good. Does somebody want to make a motion to adjourn? Moved by Drew,
Second?
second by Dave. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried.